May I come in?
Please come.
Good morning, ma'am. Good morning, sir.
Morning. Please sit.
Thank you, sir.
You're from Maharashtra,
Yes, sir.
civil engineering in your college, civil engineering as your option.
Right, sir.
Correct?
Yes.
What makes you read the Bhagavad Gita? What attracts you to it?
Sir, it was from my childhood background. My family is having spiritual background. So from that, I developed that attraction towards Bhagavad Gita. Then when I actually started reading it, I actually liked the philosophy of Bhagavad Gita, the teachings given in Bhagavad Gita. Those I could actually implement in my real life, and I got benefited out of it.
Will you be able to compare the philosophy of the Bhagavad Gita with the philosophy in any other book of any other religion?
Yes, sir. So first point would be Bhagavad Gita doesn't talk about religion as a faith. It talks about religion as a duty. But when if we talk about other religious books, they have certain principles of their religion, and it talks about that religion like almost all the time. So that is one difference I found it.
How do you link the four ashramas in Hindu philosophy to Purusharth?
Sir, four ashramas are like Grihasthashram, Brahmacharya ashram, Grihasthashram, then Vanaprasthashram, and last one would be Sannyas ashram. And four Purusharthas are Dharma, Artha, Kam, and Moksha. So I would link it as a Brahmacharya ashram as a Dharma, then
Sure.
Kam, Moksha. Yes, sir. So I feel Dharma is like reading, studying the religious scriptures and getting knowledge.
Okay.
Then Artha will be Grihasthashram, earning money and supporting the family. Then Kam,
Exactly. Now you will get caught.
yes sir, I'm sorry for that. Yeah. So, can I change? Yes. So, sir, I'm not exactly able to compare it as of now, but Kam would be Grihasthashram. And Artha will come in Brahmacharya ashram. Moksha will be last Sannyas ashram. And Dharma will be Vanaprasthashram.
All right, fair enough. Tell me one major civil engineering disaster in India and one worldwide.
So recently there was a bridge collapse in Morbi. So I consider that it's one of the major disasters.
Morbi also has the dubious distinction of another major disaster in the 70s.
Yes sir, but I unable to recollect it.
The only known, if I remember correctly, dam collapse.
That's mine.
Are you aware of the Morbi dam came crashing down?
No sir. I wasn't aware.
If a dam, you can read about it.
Yes.
But if a dam comes crashing down, is it a failure of the civil engineering or something else?
Sir, it can be a failure of civil engineering or structural engineering, I would say, but it can be a failure of other things also.
Which other things?
It can be an earthquake or seismic event.
No, there was nothing. The dam just crashed. There was no earthquake, nothing.
Yes sir, then it could be a civil engineering failure.
Can there be any other reasons for other than earthquakes, etc.? Can there be any other reasons for a dam to come crashing down?
Yes, sir. One more reason could be the dam might have been designed for a certain level capacity of water, and if that capacity exceeded because of various reasons like higher inflow, higher rainfall, then that can lead to basically conceptual failure of the dam. So the foundation, for example, or the walls which were built, so that can again crush the dam or failure of the dam.
A few years ago, because of flooding in Tamil Nadu, Kerala, etc., there were a lot of concerns about the safety of one particular dam.
Okay,
Which was that dam?
sir, I am unable to recollect that one.
Both Kerala and Tamil Nadu were under threat in case that dam had breached.
Sir, I know the name, but I am unable to.
All right, thank you.
Shubham,
Yes, sir.
now lately we have been hearing a lot of G20. So who's the last president of G20?
India.
India.
Yeah, so I mean, before India it was Indonesia.
And now, today?
Today is India, then it will be Brazil.
Okay. It's actually Brazil now.
Already.
So now, tell me the difference between G20 and G7.
Yes, sir. So G20 is a group of 20 countries or groupings of 20 countries, which is majorly formed because of the financial crisis in Asia in 1998, those times. However, G7 is only group of developed countries, and they that conglomeration. That is the major difference.
Excuse me for a moment. You are technically wrong in saying about G20. Can you tell me why I'm saying this?
Sir, I said about 20 countries.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
how many are there now?
So there are more countries, but
No. What has been added into G20 in the
African Union.
That's it. Okay.
Okay. So yeah.
So, apart from the numbers, what is the difference in their perspective, outlook, intervention, policy?
So G20 more about sustainable development, global financial stability. It looks into those aspects, while G7 is more about the concerns of developed nations, how to trade, balance of trade, and all those things.
Only.
Security as well, and threats from multipolar worlds.
What about international crises?
Yes, sir. That also.
Okay. Now you're a structural engineer as well.
Yes, sir.
Tell me, why did the Twin Towers collapse straight down and not fall like this?
Yes, sir. So basically, what happened is the velocity of the planes was very high. Because of that, there was impact created, and the structure. Because whenever we design structure, we design it as a like structure of frames, and when the planes passed through it, the frame above it and frame below it was intact, so it just came down as such.
Okay, and what's unique about Burj Khalifa?
So its foundation and its methodology behind its construction of the foundation. It has a kind of a triangular structure, which makes it very resilient to wind forces.
And how do they manage the heat? The why get sometimes 50 degrees centigrade also.
Yes. So they have some facades which reflect the heat.
What are the material which they made of?
They are made of reflective materials like glasses and ceramics.
Okay. Now you have mentioned that you are fond of vocal, classical vocals. So I believe you have some understanding in music vocals. Okay. What is a morning rag? Give two examples.
Morning ragas.
Rag.
Bhairav, I would say.
Okay.
And another morning rag will be some ragas from Bhairav Thaat only. That will be Bivas.
And in the night?
In the night it will be Kafi, Asavari, Jai Jayanti.
Jai Jayanti and one more very big one, very important one.
Bhairav.
Darbari.
Darbari Kannada.
Yes, yes.
It's
So,
also one of
can you tell me the specialities of Thumri and Dadra style of vocal singing, classical?
Sir, I am not very much technical. I don't know technical details about them, but I know that Thumri and Dadra both are semi-classical forms, and Thumri is more about romantic representation of music. However, Dadra is not.
Okay. Any singer you like in classical vocal?
Yes, sir. Pandit Bhimsen Joshi.
Okay. Which of his compositions you like best?
So, sir, he used to sing some abhangas. He is popular in Maharashtra singing abhangas, and I like when he used to. So he introduced classical singing into abhangas. So Warkari Sampradaya is there in Maharashtra. They are traditionally singers of abhangas of Saint Tukaram Maharaj. However, it was never like the one he introduced some classical element into it and took it to next level.
Okay. Thank you, Shubham.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Shubham,
Yes, sir.
what is the difference between self-healing, about the difference between a smart building and green building?
Sir, smart building is a building where the equipments are arranged in such a way that it increases the comfort of a person who is resident in that building. Her green building is designed in a way that it reduces the carbon footprint of the whole building. So it uses energy efficient solutions. There are more openings so that sunlight can come through.
Can you give an example in Delhi of these two, a smart building and a green building?
No, sir, I am not aware.
Have you
I
heard
can
about
give
Paryavaran Bhavan?
which moment, sir?
Paryavaran Bhavan Jorbagh.
I have heard about it, sir, but
You've not seen it.
not seen
So
it.
you know the difference.
No, sir.
Okay.
Sir,
Then-
one building is there in IIT Bombay from where I studied.
Okay.
It's Team Shunya. It's 100% or 0%, I would say, carbon emitting building.
And what is this self-healing concrete?
Sir, it's self-healing concrete is a concrete which heals itself by a mechanism of some bacteria and some chemicals. It has a composition of limestone inside it. So whenever there is a crack developed and some water ingresses to that crack, what happens is those bacteria get activated and they create that mug of limestone inside it, and that limestone again refills that crack. So what happens is we can equivalently say it's self-healed. So it's one of the greatest innovation in concrete. And
That's very interesting. Which company manufactures it?
no, sir, I don't know exact company name.
Okay. You must have heard about, you coming from Ahmednagar, you must have heard about Vikhe Patil and Anna Hazare,
Yes, sir.
both of them.
Yes, sir.
What has been their contribution for the growth of Ahmednagar?
Yes, sir. So Anna Hazare, I would start with. He led the corruption movement in 2014, and another was his environmental activism. There is a village called Ralegan Siddhi in Maharashtra, in Ahmednagar, where he created such a solutions. It's a village which is very drought prone, but he created water harvesting solutions for that village, nala bunding, etc., so that that village will never be short of water. When it comes to Vikhe Patil, it was more about cooperatives growth in Maharashtra in sugar factories.
Okay. Because of the sugar cane, there was water crisis,
Yes,
which was resolved by Anna Hazare.
yes,
Ralegaon Shinde is a place where the factory is also there and that is also there.
yes, sir.
Why are they sticking on to sugar cane? Because the water table is going down and it is an economic disaster over there. Ecological disaster at least.
Yes, sir, that is true to some extent, but not all regions where sugarcane is grown is water scarce, because Godavari river flows very close from border of Maharashtra, Nasik and Ahmednagar, and there is a good network of canals in that region, like Nandur Madmeshwar major canal is there. So in that region, there is good growth of sugarcane that farmers pursue. Nowadays, I am actually seeing some shift from sugarcane to dairy industry developing that region. Earlier used to be water scarce. So yes, sir.
I mean, a lot of news has been there in.
One more reason I could give is also political reasons, because it's well established factories and many stakeholders have some political connections, so they may feel that it may be a loss making proposal for them. So that's
My
why
last
it's not-
question to you. You must have heard about Dr. Ambedkar. He's a great luminary from Maharashtra.
Yes, sir.
What were his views on reorganizations of states and about the fate of Bombay? I'll tell you the controversy. The controversy was that both Gujarat and Maharashtra were claiming it. So I would like to know your views on reorganization of states, number one, and his views on Maharashtra, on Mumbai.
Okay. So, sir, my views or
No,
Dr.
his
Ambedkar?
views.
Sir, I'm short of knowledge about that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, good afternoon, Shubham. From MTech from IIT Mumbai.
Yes, ma'am.
You want to become a diplomat.
Yes, ma'am.
Why?
So, ma'am, it was not in mind until I was pursuing masters from IIT Bombay. But when I started my job, I was working in ExxonMobil, and it's an international corporation. So during that, I actually came across various news, and I was exposed to international affairs. And I met one of my friends' relative was in IFS service. So I had a call with him, I talked to him, and it inspired me. So then I started thinking about it, started reading about it, and I developed that interest. And that is when I thought I will join this service, because I felt I can contribute to country's growth, because we are targeting 2047 as a Vikasit Bharat. And when our Honorable Prime Minister says that it's Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas is not only for India, but it's for complete world. So I feel that that growth, I can be a participant in that growth. I can actually see that growth from very close perspective. So that was the major reason I decided to pursue this career.
But you don't think you could have been part of this journey with the Prime Minister as an engineer?
Yes, ma'am. I could feel, but I felt more passionate towards it because of some examples like that.
Okay, fair enough. And so what do you see as the main foreign policy challenges
Ma'am,
for India for becoming the Viksit Bharat by 2047?
yes. So one, we have to diversify our exports and increase the exports because we are nowhere close to China or other big players. Second would be tackling neighborhood because we always need their support and some short-sighted view would not be sufficing. Third would be progressive and multipolar world, striving for a multipolar world where power is not concentrated into small pockets or few developed countries. So these are few challenges I feel we have.
And what do you, sorry, go ahead.
And another would be the security challenges from neighborhoods and maritime security challenges. Those also we have to tackle.
And we believe in multilateralism, right?
Yes.
So what do you think is the biggest challenge with the UN?
Yes, ma'am. The powers of UN are concentrated in very few countries, very few developed countries. For example, UNSC. So whenever we bring some proposal in UNSC, what happens is one of the countries is against it and it vetoes it down. So that gives it like it just views the things but cannot act. That like bird without wings.
I would say our sole purpose, our foreign policy objective is to become a member of the UN Security Council. Do you agree with me or not? And if not, why not?
I partially agree. Not a sole purpose for sure. It's one of the purposes. And as of our external minister also has mentioned multiple times, it's not only being a participant or being a permanent member at UNSC, but structural reforms in UNSC. For example, increasing the membership. Along with that, changing the veto rules, bringing the majority rule. Also, like giving some resources so that UNSC can act as a preventive barrier when there are security crises in the world. So I feel this is not. It can be one of our goals, but not the sole.
The only one, yeah. And is China only competitor?
No.
Who are
China
the
is the
others?
biggest competitor for sure. But
Okay.
definitely, China is not the only competitor. Especially when I see nowadays news, Vietnam, Philippines, they are also giving very good competition to India when it comes to exports. There is a China plus one policy, right? So many countries are diversifying their head offices to or factories to India. But if we do not support that from our policies, then it might happen that it may lead to growth of Southeast Asia instead of India. For example, recently I was reading the news that ministries are also requesting government to reduce the tariff barriers. As far as India is concerned, it's 18%, which is very, very higher than other countries. So when I compare it with Vietnam, so 90% of their products, or I think 94% of their products, having lesser taxes, import duties than India. So when we see we have to do export-oriented growth, our export has to be also competitive to that because our exports also depend on our imports. So when we make our imports competitive, then only we can go for export competitiveness. So one could be that. Another, US is definitely not in support of multipolarism, which India is. So that's also one of the challenge. Another would be balancing Middle Eastern countries or West Asian countries. India does very good balance with them. For example, we have good relations with Saudi Arabia as well. We have good relations with Iran, and we have good relations with Israel also. Even in case of this conflict, we did not disturb the relationship with them. So I think these are some challenges.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Shubham,
Yes, sir.
while you were speaking about China plus one policy, you named Vietnam, you named Philippines, but you have not mentioned about one of the most important countries. Can you think of that country?
Yes, sir. Thailand,
No,
Indonesia.
Indonesia.
Yes.
What are the unique features of Indonesia? Do you know?
Sir, from geographical point of view, it has a big, very large shoreline. So second would be it's situated in a way that like it's one of the choke points, Malacca Straits. So strategically also it's very important.
Not only that, it is the world's fourth most populous
Populated
country.
country. Yes, sir.
It is the world's ninth most or ninth largest economy.
Right, sir.
And its growth rate is larger than India.
Yes, sir.
Okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. You have done masters in structural engineering.
Yes, sir.
What have you learnt in structural engineering? What is the form of the course?
Yes, sir.
You must have written a paper, thesis, final semester paper.
Yes, sir.
What was that on?
Yes, sir. I have written thesis paper as well as some. I also published one paper in international journal as well. So my thesis was about CID. CID is not. CID is clutching inerter damper. So basically, what happens is in earthquake we have various mechanisms to make a building earthquake proof. So what CID does is it combines with base isolation system and reduces the displacement of the system. So we have one technology called base isolation. So what happens in base isolation? It reduces the acceleration of the building. So people inside will feel comfortable during the earthquake. However, the displacement is reduced. Displacement is very high in base isolation.
Right.
So what
All right.
CID does is
I got that idea.
okay, sir.
You talked of earthquake. What is the difference between the magnitude and intensity of an earthquake?
Sir, magnitude is basically displacement term, and intensity is more of an energy term. Or magnitude, I would say, is a force term, and intensity would be energy related term.
No. What remains constant and what changes in an earthquake?
Sir, area.
In magnitude remains constant because the magnitude of 7.5 Richter scale, that remains constant, but the intensity changes and reduces over the length and breadth of the event.
I was thinking on the lines of there are two scales. Richter scale is also there, and there is a magnitude moment scale is also there.
But basically it is always pronounced as Richter scale.
Yes.
Magnitude. Okay. You are fond of Hindustani classical vocal, etc. There was a time in All India Radio when the minister insisted that it should be the Indian classical traditions should be played and no film music should be played. Do you know whom I am talking about? When was this?
So exact date and time I don't know.
Okay.
But I have heard about this controversy.
Okay.
It was during, I think, British period.
No.
No.
And as a result of this, a very important radio program emerged from Sri Lanka. Yes. Do you know which program I am talking of?
No, sir.
Because the most prominent radio announcer died recently, 3 days ago. Now you can relate.
His voice was the most widely recognized voice on radio.
Yes, sir. I am unable to recollect name. It was. Yeah, I saw the news, but.
Amin Sayani.
Amin Sayani.
Amin Sayani. Yes.
Okay, all right, thank you.
All right. Your first interview in UPSC?
Yes, sir.
How many marks?
3 I have given as of now.
Okay. Overall feedback?
Some feedback on my impromptu answering. Sometimes I give answer as soon as question ends. So I felt today I could do better, little better. I took some pause and answered.
Today, how do you rate yourself?
Sir, I would rate 6 out of 10.
Well, you got a very low opinion of yourself.
Sir, I feel there is some knowledge lag. I have to.
Your knowledge is already tested in the written part.
Okay, sir.
Talk to me about anything other than knowledge.
Sir, I felt some of the questions I could have answered, some factual questions especially.
Forget that.
Okay.
Anything else, personality-wise, voice-wise?
Sir, personality and voice-wise, I would rate somewhere around 8.5 to 9.
And your answers bring it down to 6.
Because of the answers, I could not give some of the answers I missed.
Again, you're back to square one.
But if I now, after giving that perspective, now you are reducing the weightage of the answers given.
Yes, I am.
So I will make it 7.5.
All right, fair enough. Your voice could be a bit louder at times.
Okay, sir.
too soft.
Yeah, sure.
Would you agree?
Yeah.
I can't hear a lot. I have to be straining to hear you. Please speak louder.
One doubt was I had this mic, so I thought if I be louder.
You're not talking to the mic.
Not for us.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, then I could be louder, yes.
Yeah, I don't hear you very
We have to really strain to hear what you are saying. I think you're smart. You present yourself well. You speak well. I mean, whatever I could hear, that is. You.
Thank you. Ma'am, one doubt. You said
Louder.
soft spoken or louder? Like,
No.
if I get louder, then
Soft spoken and being loud or not loud are two different things.
okay.
You are soft
You
spoken.
are soft-spoken, exactly.
They are not
But you- but
they are
can
not
be louder.
mutually
But,
exclusive.
but you have to be audible,
Yes, while
right?
being soft spoken, you can be louder, as we said.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Got it? Okay. I think your confidence grew as the interview progressed.
Yeah.
At least that's what. Initially,
True, sir.
you floundered a bit in.
Yes, I was a little nervous. Yes, sir.
Correct?
Yes, sir.
And especially because you got caught in that Purushartha and Ashram thing. And I was waiting for you to get caught, which you did. So, but as the interview progressed, I think you really actually improved.
Okay, sir.
The only thing that I want to talk about, a lot of questions were technical, so I really can't say much. And again, I'm not focusing too much on the knowledge part.
Okay.
As a personality, I'm very happy.
Okay, sir.
Don't wear informal socks for the interview. I mean, I
Yes,
don't want
sir.
to point it out, but
Yeah.
done. And whenever a question, now in that Ashrama Purusharth question, I also told you initially, are you sure? And you said, I'm sure. Because I knew you were heading somewhere.
Yes.
So in some questions, at least think for a moment before you start answering.
Okay, sir.
Don't get caught unnecessarily, otherwise in a good interview.
Yes, sir.
Correct?
Yes, sir.
I think we'll ask our technical member to.
No, I think all technical issues were asked by other members, so I concentrated on something else. But even now, you are not raising your voice little bit. You
थोड़ा सा
are
voice बढ़ना चाहिए.
just practice
Sir,
on this.
one issue is that I was ill, like from last 2 days.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
Some
okay,
problem.
okay.
So maybe that is the reason I am unable to speak loud.
Possibly.
All right. But otherwise, fine. All the best to you.
When's your interview?
It's on 25th
I think
March. I have kind of 28 days to prepare. Sir,
that's
from knowledge point of view, would I need to improve a lot?
No, see, two things. One, UPSC also says, we also say that the knowledge part has been tested in your written part. That's why you are here.
Yes, sir.
If you don't know an answer, you just say no, you do not know. Matter ends.
Sir,
Don't beat about the bush, don't lie. Don't unnecessarily confuse issues.
okay.
Don't guess.
Okay. Sir, what is the threshold for it? How many answers I can say no?
All.
I always give my own example. Whenever this question comes, my own example is the ideal example. Out of, I think, 9 or 10 questions by the chairman, to 7 I said I don't know.
Acha, okay.
And I actually didn't know, so there was no point in bluffing also, because I had no idea what he was talking about.
Yes, sir.
And here I am.
Okay.
Got it.
Sir, I think I will never ask this question to anybody now. I got my answer.
See, Shubham, this is an opportunity to speak to you
Yes.
on the topics which are related to your death, subjects which interest you.
Yes.
So to see whether they really interest you or you have written them just because to show that this is being politically correct, so I have written it.
Yes.
So if you've written it, you have to be sure of them.
Yes.
And
Have
if you
time,
do,
go through your DAF notes in
Yes.
detail. You're being kind.
otherwise good, raise your voice, put more energy,
Yes,
put more,
yes.
show more passion.
Barring that, there's nothing much to it.
Yeah.
Will they ask me to sing something? Because I will.
They could.
Yeah, they could.
Anybody good.
I was about to
I
ask
was-
you,
I
but the
was
time
also
I ran
very
out of
tempted.
time.
No, but now that
I
you
was
said
also
now that you
very
said you are not well and you can't sort of increase your volume, so we'll leave it at that. Done.
Okay.
Anything else?
No, sir, not.
All the best.
And,
Good luck.
Good luck to you.
and thank you for acknowledging me first as you walked.
All the best.
But be prepared to sing.
Yes, sir.
Okay?
I am prepared.
All right. Good.
Thank you.
All the best.